The room erupted, laughter spilling out in every direction like an unchecked flood. It wasn't just a few chuckles, it was the kind of laughter that takes over a space, swelling until it feels as if even the walls are vibrating with it. Every face around me was lit with amusement, every voice feeding into the rhythm of it. Everyone joined in, except him. He didn't laugh, didn't even force a smile. Instead, he watched me, his eyes steady and stripped of any sign of humor. That silence was louder than the noise around us. It clung to me, heavy and unshakable, though at the time I convinced myself it meant nothing. Just a momentary bruise, a harmless remark that hadn't landed right. But it wasn't harmless. That one slip, that thoughtless string of words I tossed out to get a laugh, was the spark that began to eat away at something fragile between us. If I had the power to rewind time, I would have ripped those words back out of the air before they reached him. I would have swallowed them whole. Because what I lost wasn't a stranger's approval or a fleeting laugh, it was someone irreplaceable. And I lost him not through betrayal, not through cruelty, but through my own careless need to be clever. Elliot never needed to dominate a room. He wasn't the type to command attention with big gestures or loud declarations. His presence was quieter, but it anchored those around him. He reminded me of a steady flame on a cold night, the kind of warmth you don't notice until you realize how much it shields you. For nearly 2 years I had that. I had him. And in that time, I grew used to his reliability, his calm, his way of listening like the world wasn't tugging at him. I didn't realize how rare that was until it was gone. The night everything shifted was at a coworker's birthday celebration. The room brimmed with unfamiliar faces, people linked loosely by acquaintances and half-familiar introductions. The energy was bright, chaotic, almost competitive. Everyone threw words like darts, trying to hit the mark with the sharpest punchline. I'd always thrived in those settings. Quick wit had been my armor, my way to stand out. Elliot was different. He wasn't silent, but when he spoke, it was thoughtful, never just to fill air. Still, that night he tried to keep pace with the banter, pushing himself into a rhythm that wasn't natural for him. Then someone lobbed the question, light and teasing, "What would your guy do if a mugger jumped out at you?" Without thinking, I grinned and fired back before Elliot could respond. Elliot. He'd probably apologize to the guy for not carrying enough cash and then try to hug him. The laughter that followed was instant and overwhelming, a wave I rode with satisfaction. The teasing spiraled, others chiming in, adding fuel. I didn't stop it. In fact, I leaned in further, delivering the line that sealed it. "If we're ever in danger, I'm tossing Elliot at them and running for my life." The crowd roared again, delighted. For a fleeting second, I felt triumphant. But then I looked at him. His face was still. No laughter. No indulgent smile. Just quiet, unreadable hurt. He stood, slipped on his jacket, and left. The room faltered in his absence, laughter dying into an awkward hush. I followed him outside, brushing it off, trying to cajole him back. Come on, Elliot. It was just a joke. His reply wasn't angry or loud. It was measured, steady. "Why did you turn me into the fool?" I tried to minimize it, insisting it wasn't serious. But he didn't argue or shout. He only said softly, "It doesn't have to be serious to sting." That night, he didn't come home with me. My calls were unanswered. My apologies, typed in haste, sat unread. When he did respond the next morning, the words cut sharper than any outburst could have. "You didn't just embarrass me. You made me feel small in front of strangers. And you enjoyed it." That was when the weight of it truly landed. It wasn't only about the joke. It was about what it revealed, that I had taken his dignity and traded it for applause. That I had chosen my moment in the spotlight over him. In the days that followed, he wasn't cruel. He wasn't vengeful. He simply withdrew. The warmth I had leaned on was gone. When we finally sat down together, a week later, he didn't rage. His voice was even, his expression calm, and somehow that hurt more. "I'm not angry anymore," he said. "I'm just tired of waiting for you to see me." I begged him, tried to frame it as one mistake. But he shook his head. It wasn't just one night. You've done this before. Made me the joke so others would laugh. You just never realized, or never cared enough to stop." Asterisk. And that was it. No dramatic ending, no slammed doors. Just a quiet end. Months drifted on, and I held on to the hope that he'd come back. That what we had was too real to disappear. But hope has a way of dissolving when faced with reality. I saw photos, glimpses of him smiling again, lighter somehow. Eventually, there was someone else in those photos, someone who held his hand and shared his laughter. In his eyes was the softness he once gave me, only now it was reserved for her. She looked at him with a gentleness I had squandered. She would never make his heart the subject of a joke. Now, when laughter rings out at someone else's expense, I don't join in. I go quiet. Because I know what that kind of laughter costs. If you've ever turned someone you love into a punchline, ask yourself if the applause was worth it. Some people don't fight, don't argue, don't give second chances. They simply walk away. And when they do, they don't come back. I was 31 when I learned that truth. And I learned it the hardest way, by losing Elliot, not because of betrayal or lies, but because I failed to guard something fragile. Because I thought a joke mattered more than the person beside me.